Oregon is home to America's first ever licensed psilocybin service center, and demand for magic mushrooms is high. Right now, more than 3,000 names are on the waiting list hoping for treatment involving the magic mushrooms. Fox's Bonnie Silkman joins us now in studio with much more on this. Bonnie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Oregon is the first state to legalize adult use of magic mushrooms. And Epic Healing Eugene opened up its doors in June, becoming the country's first licensed psilocybin center with the goal of improving mental health care, and things there are busy. The owner of the center in Eugene says that they treat people with depression, PTSD, or end-of-life dread. And as we said, currently thousands of names are on the waiting list there for treatment. So for roughly 6 hours, adults over 21 years old can experience what many users describe as vivid shapes, a loss of identity, and oneness with the universe. So first, the customers have to have a preparation session with a licensed facilitator there on hand who stays with the client as they experience the drug. The clients cannot buy mushrooms to go. They have to stay at the center until the drugs wear off, and no prescriptions or referrals are needed for this. Researchers believe that psilocybin changes the way the brain organizes itself and can alter a person's thinking, helping them to adopt new attitudes and overcome mental health issues.
I met several people that had experienced healing.
This kind of journey is not for the faint of heart.
This is very much about supported use for adults 21 years of age or older, and that support comes from licensed facilitators who don't handle or sell the psilocybin products, but instead provide preparation, administration, and integration sessions to clients.
And according to a study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry, after being treated with 2 doses of magic mushrooms and given psychotherapy, adults who misused alcohol had an 83% decrease in their drinking. Now, the Oregon Psychiatric Physicians Association did oppose Oregon's legalization of psilocybin, calling it unsafe. And while mushrooms can lead to feelings of euphoria, some critics caution that can cause some users to experience potentially dangerous psychotic episodes, paranoia, nausea, and other negative side effects. As for the price of getting treatment, a client can wind up paying more than $2,000 to cover service center expenses, a facilitator, and lab-tested psilocybin. Kim and Sean.